Hello and welcome to a very fast edition of Around the Region on location here at Four Wing Cold Lake. We're here to witness Canadian history at an event called Race the Base. On the show tonight, these exotic cars race jets. Find out who will win that rumble on the runway. We take a spin with a guy who claims he has the fastest Ferrari in the world. Fasten your seatbelts. This is Around the Region. Thanks for joining us. We're sitting here now with Lieutenant Colonel Rob Carter, who is the chairman for Race the Base this weekend. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks, Whitney.
Why don't you start by telling us what is Race the Base?
Race the Base is a charity event that was designed to create money or get money for 4 different charities that we highlighted earlier on in the planning process. But to be really specific, Race the Base is underneath the umbrella of the Dream Wheels weekend. And that's a whole weekend package, so people will come out here to the base on Friday, go downtown Cold Lake for the street party Friday night, back out to the base all day Saturday, and then down to Bonnyville for a car show and a dinner Saturday evening. So all of that is the Dream Wheels weekend, of which the stuff that happens right here on Four Wing is Race the Base.
So how many cars are coming in this weekend?
We're looking at about 80 exotic cars. We're talking about the high-end exotic cars, Ferraris, Lamborghinis, Maseratis, the new Audi R8, Aston Martins, all of those who are here in order to max perform their cars in an area where they're not going to get a ticket.
This is a pretty unique event for the base, definitely. What do you think its biggest draw is as far as spectators go?
The biggest draw has to be the cars themselves. We do air shows here, so people have seen airplanes. A lot of people in the local area have been to airports, so you know the mystique of that is already long since gone. I don't think there's a car show in Canada that will have the spread of cars that are so wickedly cool as we're going to have here this weekend. You're going to see them all lined up side by each and be able to look at them all. That has to be the biggest draw.
Now you have cars trying to break a 300-kilometer-per-hour barrier this weekend, is that right?
Yeah, every guy that does gets a certificate. So we've printed off a lot of certificates because we're expecting most cars to be able to do that. The fastest car is a upgraded, modified Ferrari Enzo, $2 million plus car. He's claiming to be able to do just over 390 kilometers an hour.
Wow.
And so on Saturday afternoon at about 2 o'clock, we're going to have the pinnacle race of the F-18, my baby, versus the Ferrari Enzo to see really who is the fastest. And there is a limit because the runway is only so long, so we're going to have to set a finish line somewhere. But with a top speed of about 390 for the car and a top speed of about 2,000 kilometers an hour for the F-18, really it's going to be when is the Hornet going to pass the car? Will he do it soon enough?
I mean, this is maybe a dangerous feat. How are you ensuring safety on the base this weekend?
We had to make sure it was safe and secure for everybody through the duration of the event. So for us, we looked at how we're going to have waivers or indemnification for all the drivers, how we're going to have insurance for the entire event. Well, the runways will be clean. These guys will have professional instructors who will instruct them on how to drive their exotic cars. Just because you can afford the car doesn't mean you know how to drive it. Right. So that'll be the start of this. They'll have a building block process where they'll start off at a reasonable speed, maybe 200, 250 kilometers an hour, and work up from there. Okay. And even before these guys are allowed on the runway, the cars have to be meticulously gone over for maintenance. They need the proper suspension, aerodynamics, the right speed-rated tires, the right tire pressure. So everything will be looked at from end to end to make sure it's an absolute safe situation for these guys. We have emergency services on call, we have a search and rescue helicopter, we have to use it. All those things are going to be on standby.
So just in sort of wrapping up here, what do you hope a spectator gets out of this event?
For the spectators, they're going to be able to get up close and personal with the cars. They're going to be a little distance away as the cars go down the runway, but as they come back to the starting line, they are going to go right up through where the spectators are going to be at. They're going to stop, the spectators can get out, talk to the drivers, look at the cars, take the pictures, and that's just on the runway. So not only did they get to see that and the power of the F-18 on Saturday, but Friday evening they can be downtown in Cold Lake when all the cars are going down there for the street party. Again, up close and personal with them, the drivers, take all the photos you want. It's going to be pretty outstanding.
Well, we're looking forward to it this weekend, that's for sure. This has been our conversation with Lieutenant Colonel Rob Carter, who's the chairman for Race the Base this weekend. After the break, we meet the drivers who are hoping to outpower a CF-18 fighter jet. That's next on Around the Region.